Let's do that. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, say hi. I'm just popping on for not a long live right now. I'm gonna go live later on, but and do a recap like we have been. But I figured I'd hop on today and just see what's going on. Got a couple of things that have popped up, and I haven't gotten to see all of it, but there's a couple of things on JLR's live that if you missed them, I thought maybe we could rewind and go over them real quick. A little afternoon break from all of our adulting, and I'm going to be working and finishing the set of nails that I did the other night while we watch that, and possibly starting a new one if I've got time. But while we're doing that, we'll be reviewing some stuff that's come out today. So first, this was a interview with, I think it's a neighbor, maybe.
I wanted to say hi to you, but I am very intuitive, and I'm very good friends with. In a minute.
Let's see.
Oh, glove tours, yeah. So, are you?
I'm an intuitive empath.
Can I interview you?
Okay. So what this lady says is she's an intuitive. And so she came out to speak to JLR on the scene where he's at. So I missed this, so I wanted to go. I figured if I was going to rewatch it, I'd rewatch it with you guys. So here we go.
Maybe in a minute. I just wanted to say hi to you, but I am very intuitive. And I'm very good friends with one of the higher ups that probably has got this pretty well nailed.
All right. So what do you think happened? Let's share it.
So
we got.
We're gonna do this.
30,000 watching. Go for it.
I'm not a psychic medium.
Okay.
And I'm an intuitive empath.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I wanted to say hi to you, everybody. Okay, everybody. Here's the man, JLR.
What's going on? All right, go ahead.
So I don't feel her up here at all. I will tell you that whoever I think come up here knew what they were doing. To get up into this area, you need to know where you're going. And even if it's in the dark, street signs, you're just not going to be walking up in here either. It's a long ways up in. And the terrain in front of her home, our lovely department. Thanks, guys. Sorry.
You made it.
Good.
He's good.
The garbage man, guys. God bless them trying to do their work.
This is gotta be awful trying to get through that neighborhood.
Anyway.
You made it.
I'm not pulling energy up here from her at all.
All right.
But when she left that house, she left that house.
With who?
I don't know. I try to vision it, but I don't truly think she was with us at that time when she left.
You mean with us? You think she was dead?
Passed away.
Passed away.
And I will tell you, I will apologize up and down if I'm wrong.
So you think they took out a body that passed away.
I do.
Yeah.
But to get up in here, to even get up in here, a tiny little light's not going to give you lighting at this time of night, except if that moon was out full, what they're saying. But like I say, I pull energy, and when you were going down on your tour that you took, I just didn't even feel it there either. I just don't know. I don't think she's close by. At first I did.
Do you think it's more than one? We've seen the one image. You think there's more than one person involved here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna look back, and I'm gonna tell you it was more than one.
What else are you feeling?
Well, I just did a video, and somebody just told me that they played it back, and there was a gasp at the end, and it wasn't me. So I have to play that over. But sometimes they come to us. People don't believe in this, and you know what? I tell them to scroll on. But sometimes they come to our energies, and I'll have to play it back. But I had a heaviness driving here, and it got very heavy on the Keno Bridge.
Keno.
Heavy, and then it backed off when I started climbing up here.
Keno Bridge. Where's that at?
So it brought me this way. It would be coming across. It's past the Banner Hospital. Took me on that route. I can't tell you what. I think it's just an overpass bridge.
Banner Hospital. Wasn't that where everybody ran to the other night?
So you have a feeling there. Is that south or north here?
It just took my breath away, a heaviness.
Is that the 22nd Street Bridge
Correct.
in Tucson, located between Keno Parkway and Tucson?
Correct.
Huh.
It's very peaceful up here, though.
It is. Are you on? You're a TikToker?
I am. Arizona girl.
Arizona girl.
Oh, no, a TikToker.
First time being here today?
Oh yeah, I've contemplated coming up here.
Contemplated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I don't like being.
Oh, you don't like me on camera? Would you step right in front of the camera here?
Yeah.
They can see. Everybody can see you.
Here I am.
Everybody, I got to meet him. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Off the record stuff.
So have you? Are we off?
No, but
Off the
come on
record.
around the
Guys,
outside.
don't tell anybody.
All right, she's gonna talk to me off the record for a second. Stand by.
I don't remember this. So. I thought she was a neighbor. So, but this got interesting, right? They clicked on it and saw him interviewing someone, and but I guess not. So let's
I'm not live streaming. Just
Thank you.
I might get your photo.
Sure. You want to take a selfie?
Yeah.
Take a selfie.
But she doesn't like being on camera. But here's a selfie. Why not?
There you go. Nice to meet
It's
you.
awesome.
Take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Interesting. What do you think, folks? Share in the chat. What do you think?
Well,
She had her theories.
Right? And everybody's theory is a good one at this point because we have 1,000 and nothing to go on.
Nanos. I don't know. Nanos is all over the place. I want to like the guy. I really do. I really
I'm
want to
sure
like.
you'd be a good guy to have a beer with.
I really really want to like Nanos. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. I really want to like him and have faith in him, but I'm hearing a lot of things, you know, and we've listened to him. All his deputies are fine. I mean, the deputies are, I've seen professionalism.
Oh, there's a new show on the Pima County Sheriff's called Desert Law. If anyone wants to look that up,
Desert
they
Law?
just came up with their 3rd episode, and it's all
Yeah,
about
it's on A&E. I looked it up.
Really?
It's called Desert Law.
Like in
on
a good way or a bad way?
It's kind of like Cops, but for the sheriff. So Sheriff Nanos actually signed off on that.
Really?
And he had, they recorded it last year. Have you seen that show? Desert Law?
Yeah, so it's a show like Cops or
And it's not him. It's definitely
there's actually one on Discovery Channel. There was one season about Grand Rapids Police Department.
Yeah.
They're in Michigan.
No, it's very well done. Yeah, I mean, it's not some. I don't know who owns it now.
If you are a new viewer and you like nails, or you like true crime, or you like both, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for me. I don't normally do all this action-packed stuff, but started following this case. And a lot of my other subs, we were all interested in this, so I started following it, and
Everybody got 10 minutes.
now we're invested and we're meeting a lot of new people, and everyone's welcome. All opinions are welcome. Let me see. There was something else that I wanted to. Is that someone else bringing flowers, maybe? Let's see.
The Desert Walker. Where can they find you?
What was that?
Where can they find you?
Just look up Desert Walker on YouTube.
Nice.
All desert videos.
Desert. Nice.
I appreciate
Stay
it.
hydrated.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. The Desert Walker. Check them out.
Yeah, okay, just more people putting flowers down.
This is a florist. Putting like water and flowers. Hey, Clawz. Go over here. I think Griff Jenkins, Fox News, is interviewing somebody.
Well, after driving in here, going around the area, I don't think he was doing it. See, because he's going to see headlights coming from a long distance away. So coming up here when he is disguised like that, not going to raise any suspicion because there's nobody around here to see him.
And I guess, final thoughts. Here we are, 18 days going forward. Doesn't seem like there's a strong lead on it. Do you believe that this investigation seems as sort of unknown as it feels for those of us on
After I go through this,
Well, this side of the tape, we are stuck with a lot of.
I want to talk about the TMZ
The sheriff isn't providing
update.
a lot of
Is
information.
just
We talked about that before. There's good reasons behind that, but it doesn't make it any easier for us to draw conclusions on what could have gone on.
wild.
There is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I'm certain of that because I know how those things work. But is it the stuff that's going to break the case open? Maybe, maybe not. Because even when we were dealing with Peterson, we sat on Amber's information for quite a few days until the inquiry was complete. So they could be doing the same thing over there in the sheriff's office.
I do want to ask you one quick thing, and we don't want to criticize Sheriff Nannick in the middle of this investigation. However, there's been much talk about how quickly he opened this crime scene. You would have been in charge, would you have kept this crime scene sealed up longer?
Well, it depends on what the experience level is of the people that are working the scene. And if they're starting this case from the beginning, and it's terrible to have to say it this way, but a case like this, you start working it as a no-body homicide from the beginning. And the reason for that is physical evidence that you would collect in a homicide scene is much different and much more detailed than evidence that you're going to collect if you don't view it as a homicide from the start. Doesn't mean she's not going to come home safe and healthy, but it means that you have to do it the right way with the right steps from the beginning. And that might have been one of the reasons that they had to go back a couple of times. And we've done that too, even when you start from the beginning. Sometimes you have to go back because something comes up. And even when we go to court, there's been many times in court on the stand testifying, and they say something from the defense, and you shake your head internally and go, gosh, I should have thought about that.
But in terms of like the preservation of the crime scene, to err on the side of caution, is it possible that by opening up earlier rather than later, that you might not, contaminate the crime scene or lose a key piece of evidence that you might have found otherwise if you kept it clean?
Well, Griff, I think it's probably a little bit less risky in this case for the simple reason that this house isn't open to the public. So even though they unsealed the crime scene, I would be reasonably certain that family members aren't letting people in there while Nancy is missing. So it'd be a situation where if you have to go back in, you don't need a search warrant because she's your victim. And it's the job that you're concerned.
And final question.
Yeah.
How does this end?
Hopefully, with a happy ending, we'll answer.
So what would break the case?
Well, the DNA would be a big case breaker, I think, if they could link that into somebody that who did it. Whether or not they could track vehicles that came in here, searches for the residents for MapQuest or Google Maps or something like that. They go back and see search this place because this is coming back here. It's pretty remote.
And on that, in terms of the big break, do you feel like the $100,000 reward is enough to motivate someone for a tip that actually led to finding Nancy?
If two people are involved, $100,000 I think is going to make somebody go.
Perfect.
It's my wife, so there you go.
There you go. Hey,
Hey, Griff,
how are you?
good work. You got the chopper view.
We got the chopper.
Got the chopper
Now
view.
the signal sniffer might do it.
Yes.
I don't know.
Always boots on the ground.
We should do all the cars now. We could do some walking time.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Right, we're out.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, behind the scenes. Check it out later. Behind the scenes. It's kind of cool when I'm behind the
Cool,
scenes, you know? All right, take care.
Yes.
I like Griff. Follow each other on Twitter.
Same.
Griff does all types of boots on the ground stuff. He was up in the chopper the other day around the house.
You guys going right now?
A little bit. With the White House as the press.
Right side left.
Where are you coming
Yeah.
Sheriff.
Oh yeah, for any bike enthusiast, there's a nice pretty bike that can be rolling up to drop off some flowers for the Guthrie family.
Got it's like a motorcycle member laying flowers. very nice.
I don't know about him, but I'm gonna keep following it and updating it until she's found, hopefully soon.
Bikers. The bikers, even the bikers coming to pay respect.
I don't think anybody thought that it would last this
Nancy.
long, that's for sure.
Shook his hand. He said hello.
What's his name?
He said, JLR.
Damn.
Bikers. Yeah, there's an organization called Bikers Against Human Trafficking. They advocates for missing children and things like that, and people that are trafficked. Another group in Florida, Born to Ride for 45. They do a lot of volunteer and help and assistance, disasters, missing people. The bikers. All right, we'll see who else comes out. We're also monitoring any news developments.
Hi, Nadia.
Nancy. Again, we are on.
I don't
vehicle
know, Buzz.
standby.
I hope so.
Jump in our vehicles
But-
and go. If we hear certain things that are happening,
It's not.
particularly where these agents are or what they're doing, so we can document
It's everything
in real
we've
time
heard.
what they're doing to find Nancy
I
Guthrie.
think it's
18 days.
leans
folks.
more to the no than the yes, but I mean, I don't know. That's one thing I'm finding out is that no matter what we think we know, we don't know. Because it keeps changing every day and it's just craziness. And we'll sit here and ponder and try and figure all this out, and it won't be anything that any of us thought. It'll be some way off from what we ever thought it was. That's usually what happens. But, oops. Let me see real quick. See, I don't think anything else
I'll do that maybe on the back.
jaw dropping happened. I'm gonna do this real quick and what's it? There's the new ransom note that's come out. And I don't know. I don't know what to really think of it. It's from what Harvey Levin said, it's much more. It sounds like it's a little bit scarier, more professional note that's written. So I don't know if, if this is a kidnapping, if the higher up stepped in because the cheap labor fools they hired to try and get everything done screwed it up, or if this is someone completely different that's learning from the others that have not been taken seriously or have whatever. And they're asking for crypto coin, not Bitcoin. So which according to Harvey, why is TMZ? I mean, this is the thing that really stinks about all this is, I mean, I always thought of TMZ as being kind of like gossip news. And it's like they're the ones leading the charge with this ransom stuff. And that's just another really weird thing to me about all this. That's the thing. I honestly just thought, like, I was like teeny, tiny channel. I'm still a little tiny channel, but it was just me and my friends hanging out, talking about true crime stuff. I have a nail business, so this is where I referred like my clients to come hang out, to do special orders, to learn how to do their own nail art, stuff like that. And a lot of us were interested in this case and started following it. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these other people. And we're all interested in the same thing. And it was like, whoa. And now all of a sudden, I'm meeting all these new people that are, trying to figure out what happened. I mean, none of us are detectives. But, like, you feel like you gotta, in your brain, you gotta try and put your head around this. Like, how could this have been possible? For sure. Well, and that was something that Harvey Levin said today after he talked about the note, was that the FBI wanted him to reiterate that this is a major crime and you will be in jail for a very, very long time. I thought, I mean, well, I read a couple articles today where there was people saying, if this is some big collaborative collective of people, they were still wondering about that. What was his name? Was it Devin? The first guy that was contacting the family. That when we saw him at court the other day. Like there's some people that think that he may have something low level to do with this. But now back to the other note, not the ransom note, but the fourth note in the series of someone sending a letter to TMZ, stating that they know who the kidnapper or kidnappers is because they were south of the border and they saw this person with Nancy and saw Nancy with multiple people and said they were told to shut up. So now we're hearing that that's part of the equation again, that possibly she was taken over the border. And now they're back to saying that this is, again, a fifth ransom note sent to TMZ now. It's a different wallet or a number, and they want cryptocurrency, not Bitcoin. And that these people seem a bit more sophisticated. Okay, like I said, is it just con men learning from the mistakes of the previous people? That's where I say, you know, I know a lot of people say, oh gosh, if this, there's two sides to this coin. So because Savannah is such a big, well, she was a celebrity. She was known to a lot of people. I don't watch the Today Show, and I'll be honest, I had no idea who she was when this all started. But it touched my heart to think about an 84-year-old woman being taken out of her home in the middle of the night, you know, no matter who she was related to. We see, you know, all this attention because Savannah is a TV personality and she knows certain people, and, you know, mainstream media got wind of it because they went out and spoke to mainstream media. Independent media got a hold of it. Streamers got a hold of it. And which I'm going to say, I know there's been a big backlash in some articles. And I read that article that jerk that we saw, JLR, trying to get the interview from JLR the other day. He was so nice to him in the beginning. And now all of a sudden, he doesn't like him. They're getting in the way. No. He was one of the first to go knock on the door of that house that they raided. He and who else? Brian Enton. He didn't throw shade on Brian Enton. Now, I heard the sheriff did. I didn't hear his statement, but he better not mess with our Brian. That's all I got to say. Don't mess with our Brian, Sheriff, because it won't be good. But no, so now I've got to look up. I'm going to have to get Driver to watch that. To watch that police show. What was it called? It's in my history because I looked it up. But let me see. Let's put that up. That's just, hey Stone. No news today. Not that I have seen. There is, but we were just talking about it. There is a 5th ransom letter that was sent to TMZ. So there's that. But this one is a different, like, bank number or wallet number, and they're asking for cryptocurrency. And he said the stakes are.
One question on whether the FBI has cleared the Guthrie family aside from Sheriff Nanos. I'm pointing to the concept that this remains a state investigation. The FBI is assisting the Pima County Sheriff, who is essentially in charge of the county and investigation.
That's sorry, I just wanted to hear what he was saying real quick. From what I've heard, they haven't cleared anybody. And they're not saying that meaning that they think that one of them did it or didn't do it. They're just saying they still don't know enough to clear anybody, is kind of what I understood. So I don't know. That whole thing is real weird. I don't really understand why so much back and forth with everything with the sheriff. And one thing I noticed was that he seemed so angry at everyone out there. But when you see the deputies drive by, they're waving and saying hi, and oh, and I know what else. Let me dot these, and then I will find the clip. Nadia sent it to me, but we have an update on our friend Carlos. It looks like Carlos has a lawyer. So that might.
So essentially, they're saying that it's a state events investigation leading with the FBI assisting. That's what's being said here.
Well, that's kind of what we knew, right? Was that Pima County was still they were still in the lead. And yeah, and that the FBI was assisting, and is that the right decision at this point? I don't know. And I know I'm not a resident of that community, but I would have had a lot more respect for that sheriff if he had said simply, we don't have the resources, or
Yeah, so it looks like Matt Finn, that report came from Matt Finn. So essentially is the state is still, or the Pima County is still investigating this. And the feds are just, as the lead agency, the feds are just assisting.
because that's everything. I keep
State
hearing
case,
these
but then what
guys
about all the
young-
ransom and everything like that? That takes you federal. What about if Nancy was brought over interstate lines and taken over interstate lines? So this is a state case, more or less. A county case, state case, not fed case.
Wonder how that works, because doesn't Pima County go all the way to the border? I hope we see Mo at some point today. Said I'm not going to be on super long right now. I figured I might as well catch up with you guys while I worked, and then
Traffic jam.
I'll be on later tonight for sure after
Traffic jam.
the boys are in bed to recap and see if we found out anything new. But someone said in chat last night, there's people asking about that neighbor that was packing up all the boxes.
Traffic jam.
And I saw somewhere else, and I cannot remember which. It was a news channel.
So essentially, what is next?
It was
What's going to
talking
be
about
the
that
next
neighbor being
move? What is going to be
a gem
what
seller.
authorities going to do?
And so that's where all those boxes were for. It was for the gem show.
What are they going to do?
Somebody else was in here talking about the gem show being that weekend. And the theory is that possibly if this goes
Where
back
would you like to
to
go?
the
You guys
50th time
like
to
to go
robbery
around the
gone bad,
intersections and see where there's cameras around the entire
someone get the
neighborhood?
wrong house. I mean, it's happened before. It's
What's going on?
Just charging up everything.
Charging up everything?
We gotta.
Not much activity going on here today. It's like I think we're in this like quiet.
The calm before the storm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking because
well,
they're coming out with little. I just posted with Sheriff Nanos. You know, I said he believes that she was abducted.
Really? He believes it.
Yeah.
He also believes she's still alive.
Yes.
yeah, he does.
Because there's no evidence that she's dead. Pima County Sheriff tells Fox News he believes Nancy Guthrie is a victim of a target kidnapping.
And then this is
Well, he gets to pick right now, right? Because they don't know.
I believe that was a kidnapping, targeted kidnapping, but I believe whoever did that knew what they were up to, knew who they were after.
so they are letting out little. Does that change anything? Or is anything that?
I mean,
Well, it throws up theory that it was a wrong house, so it does maybe take some things out.
well, now they're talking about the Google trend search on January 11th.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
I don't know. At this point, I don't
And then
really
I did
take
hear
much
that
stock
right
in what
away
the
at
sheriff
beginning.
says. I feel like
The second or third day, and I think some of the searches were coming from. Did you see
his
in the
statements
chat
are
where,
either self-serving
like Columbia or something?
or
Like, people were looking for Nancy Guthrie.
they're damage control
Yeah, so if anyone wants to go on
because
TMZ,
he
see if there's any
bloops out stuff that he shouldn't or it isn't quite correct.
Yeah, they did say it's gonna pick up wind here.
Pick up wind was today.
Yeah, we're gonna be windy.
What are these like kind of like southwest winds?
We don't get them like, you know, Albuquerque has.
Yeah, that wind kills my ears.
Right before a storm comes, so I'm thinking probably this evening, a storm might roll.
What kind of storm? A dust storm?
No, just a quick rainstorm.
Quick rainstorm. A quick rainstorm. A quick.
That's my weather report.
Been raining here today, but I'm not complaining. It's not snowing.
Star dog off the list. Magpies, star dog, magpies.
Yeah. True.
Why do I keep screwing these bottles down? I Good. As soon as I get this done, I will pay that. But yeah, it looks like Carlos has got a lawyer. So everybody better watch out. What was So what do you guys think? Do you think this
The lead guy, was he hanging out here or something?
do you think this
Okay.
fifth
Really?
letter is real?
Somebody just asked me if you informed anybody.
Or do you think it's just somebody taking advantage of the situation again?
Yeah, they were here. I thought they were switching shifts.
Let me see if I can find. Oh, let's okay. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to. Oh. JLR just said he hopes it doesn't start losing legs. You know, that's the sad thing. You just, I mean, what do they do if there's nothing?
The search for Nancy Guthrie has gone international. We have learned the FBI has told federal Mexican law enforcement to tell various police agencies to be on the lookout for Nancy and her kidnapper.
So please remember, for fair use, I have to kind of stop, commentate on this, go again. But so I mean, that sounds to me like they're calling this whole border thing, this U.S.-Mexico border thing, serious.
Now, our law enforcement sources are telling us that it is possible they believe that Nancy was taken across the border, but they doubt if she is across the border that it happened directly after the kidnapping. We're told that because we know now that the FBI checked cameras, Border Patrol cameras, and also other various electronic devices. We are asked not to be specific about that. And they have come up dry. There is nothing showing any movement across the border with.
So, yeah, I mean, that sounds like they're taking it seriously.
They suspect Nancy Guthrie was in that car. Now, that said, we're told that she could have been taken at some point after the kidnapping, a day or so later or 2 days later. They just don't know. And obviously, there is a way to get across the border undetected. But right now, they have put the word out, and so far, no luck. There is something else. TMZ obtained another ransom note today. This is a highly sophisticated.
So this is ransom note number 5. But this one's a little bit different.
Sophisticated demand involving a form of crypto, not Bitcoin. Now, it is demanding roughly the same amount as the demand letter we received shortly after the kidnapping, the $6 million demand. It's not exactly that, but it's close to that. The demand graphically describes the consequences if the demand is not met. It also.
So that doesn't sound good. And that's something that the first letter, I don't believe, had anything like that. The one that was supposed to be a hoax. The second set of letters, well, we don't know what it said, actually. So, I mean, maybe it did threaten.
Involves the media, saying that the media essentially becomes a go-between, a trigger, if you will, for getting this ransom money. We have been asked not to be specific about any of that beyond what we've just said. We have forwarded this on to the FBI, and they are looking into it. The email that we received today does not have the same crypto account as the crypto account in that first ransom letter that we received. A couple of other things. We told you yesterday that.
So, yeah, so this is different. And remember, this is ransom. So we've got the two sets of, now the third set of ransom. It sounds like it's from possibly a different person. And we've got also Jack Cat. When you play content from somewhere like TMZ or something like that, you have to follow rules called fair use, which means I have to pause and I have to talk and comment on it. So if that bothers you, go to TMZ then, please. So anyway, this is a third set of ransom notes. The other ones were from the person stating that they knew that they saw Nancy and her kidnappers.
That the FBI went around to various gun stores in the Tucson area with a list of names, trying to see if anybody on that list bought a gun at any of these shops. We were told, and we told you this yesterday, that the list was created by the people who had purchased a holster similar to the one that the kidnapper was wearing. The FBI had gone to Walmart and other retailers, created this list. We are told that this did not bear fruit, that so far it turned up nothing, that there was no match here of somebody buying a gun and buying that holster, at least from that list. Couple of other things. The FBI team, there is a team that is working on just finding people who have bought items similar to the ones the kidnapper is wearing. They actually have a team contacting Walmart and other retailers, and their focus is finding matches, people who have bought more than one of these items, a backpack, a jacket, a holster, or anything else. Again, we are told that so far they do not have any real leads on that. So the bottom line, and this is a quote from a law enforcement source, we are shaking the trees looking for clues. So they are doing everything they can. There's one other thing that I was asked to mention, and that is something I know to be true. The FBI is really serious that anybody who is trying to get money from the Guthrie family with a phony demand letter is going to spend, as it was put to me, a long, long time in federal prison.
So, I mean, obviously he's in contact with the FBI, but I don't know. Is this one real? Or is this just some other piece of junk trying to get rich off of a bad situation?
The FBI does not mess around with things like that, and they are laser focused to find both the kidnapper and people who are exploiting the Guthrie family.
So yeah, that's I didn't see this. Let's see.
It's been parked out.
Let's get nosy.
Just going to tell the deputy. A white Ford Ranger with California plates. I don't know. She might have.
Oh man, I hope not, Kirby. But I've said the same thing. No, what's gonna happen? It is gonna fizzle out, like everything does. If she doesn't get found, I don't know, maybe next week or two, because there's gonna be something else that the news and everybody, shifts their focus to, and that's what I don't understand, Phoebe, is like, I hope I pronounced that right. It just seems like there's so many, like...
What do you think about that?
It just seems like there's so many just weird situations that don't have to be... I don't know. It just doesn't have to be like this. But I feel like we already watched that. If we hadn't gotten some of the stuff that we had gotten. Oh, here. This right here.
Almost a week now.
And again, let me repeat. To follow along with the Fair Use Copyright Act, I have to stop. I have to commentate. I have to talk during this. Yada, yada. So... I will pause it and I will say something, but keep your manners. Don't be telling channels to hush. It's not cool.
What's the last week been like for you?
It's been hectic.
This is Carlos.
I can't even go out. I can't dash with my wife because people taking pictures of us or following us. Like yesterday, we went out dashing, we got home, and there was this red truck following us. This morning was there too, so it's been kind of scary for me and for my wife, my kids, and everybody.
And again, this was something that before that point, it was kind of just a normal Tuesday. Is that what it was like?
Yeah, it was a normal Tuesday. It was my day off. I was working with my wife and everything, and all of a sudden, well, it happened. Like they were following me, and I pulled them over.
Well, if you remember, if you were watching, that was one of his alibis, is that he works in Tucson as a delivery. I thought it was a delivery driver during the week. But on the weekends, he's home and he and his wife DoorDash to make extra money. So this guy works like 7 days a week. Comes home on the weekend to be there for her and her kids. So can't be all bad. Well, their kids. Can't be all bad.
See what was going on. And after that, it's been crazy, like nonstop. We're all scared. I can't stop thinking like what's gonna happen to me. What's gonna happen? Like my brother-in-law, we didn't even have nothing to do with it, and they still arrested him and everything. They put him into SWAT car. I didn't know that. They put him into SWAT car.
That was the son that was in his room, had his headphones on. He was supposedly playing, I guess she said he was playing video games, and he had no idea what was going on. They just yanked him out of the house, and it sounded like Carlos's mother-in-law and father-in-law weren't even home at the time.
They even detained my wife and my kids. It was scary.
When did you realize? Obviously, they released you late at night. We talked to you very briefly, and you got to go home and see kind of a circus out there, it looked like.
Yeah.
What's going through your head when you pulled up back home?
Like, what are they doing at the house? Like, they already searched it. I know they had to go like find evidence supposedly against me, but I don't know. It was crazy. It was still a lot of police there, a lot of activity. They didn't even let us go into the house. Like 20 minutes later, once they released me, they still had the street blocked off. They didn't even get off the car or nothing.
Jesse, what comes next here?
I feel bad for his kids. Like, to have to see that. Like, that had to be so scary for them. Just if they were riding around, you know, with mom and dad, just a regular weekend night. And I wonder what. Unless it was just his popping up on devices or something like that. But I wonder what made them zero in on him that night.
Well, I think, you know, from our perspective, the first thing that really needs to happen is that the Pima County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Nanos need to clear Carlos's name. They need to make this right. They've falsely arrested an innocent man. They've subjected his family to misery, humiliation, handcuffs, and there's no evidence.
See, now the lawyer just said something very interesting, and this is something that I have noticed in the language. And we've been talking the past couple nights. We got to pay attention to the language that everybody's using. So the lawyer said arrested. But do you notice that every time they talk about bringing anyone in, they're not saying arrested. They were detained. So, and they said this about Carlos that night. Detained. So, that's going to be, I think that's going to be one of the kind of word games that's used in this whole thing between the sheriff, and I think that's how they're getting away with maybe going in so nukem, you know, like they are.
This was a wrongful arrest. It was a false arrest. They've cast this shadow of suspicion on Carlos and his family, and now they're living day to day. They're living in fear. And so the first thing that I'd like to see is Sheriff Nanos and the Pima County Sheriff's Office come forward and say, this was a mistake. Carlos is not a person of interest. He is not an investigative lead. We messed up. We need to see.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. And a lot of people saw that. And they didn't just see it because of the streamers. They saw it because the news was up there. He had you could see every mainstream media microphone in his face that night. And there are some sick people out there, obviously, because we're worried about an 84-year-old woman being kidnapped. And I don't know, it's about one of those who it affects kind of a things, you know, back to that. Because he made sure he came out and made a huge declaration over the Guthrie family that, according to him, they had been cleared, but not this man.
Some accountability. Obviously, my hope is they're doing the best they can with their investigation. I don't know what the details of what they're doing are in that respect. That's not my department, but they need to clear Carlos, because right now he and his family are going through a nightmare where they look out the window and there are suspicious cars driving past their home. They don't know what's next. And so, you know, it's just clear that whatever mistakes were made, Sheriff Nanos and Pima County need to fess up, and they need to clear Carlos so that his family can begin rebuilding and moving on.
You know, and we asked the sheriff that even just this morning, and he said everyone they detained, because there was another person detained last Friday, right? And they said they were cleared to a point, was his wording. Has there been any evidence presented here? You know, I know they mentioned their search warrants, right? And it's not just them searching willy-nilly, but from what you've seen and what you've heard, Is there evidence here that makes this?
No, there's no evidence whatsoever. Our understanding is that they obtained the search warrant they obtained that allowed them to search Carlos's vehicle and his family's property through the use of a secret affidavit. As far as we know, that affidavit is sealed and remains.
So that's kind of weird. Secret affidavit.
Sealed, and our educated suspicion is that this has something to do with cell phone pings, which everybody knows are unreliable. And it's their job to come forward and say what evidence they have is. I mean, the fact that they went after Carlos so hard and then let him go, and it's obvious that they had the wrong guy. It's obvious that they messed up, and they need to actually say the obvious, though. They need to repair the damage they've caused.
So yeah, I mean, so everyone's been cleared to a point. Shouldn't that go across the board for everyone? I mean, there's so many possibilities right now as far as who it could be, at least from the public standpoint of what we know.
Clawz, when did you realize that your name had your family's name, it spread over the internet really quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, that same night, I noticed, like, as soon as I did the interview, I went inside. My wife was on the phone, and on TikTok, the news everywhere. It was like that. Like less than an hour, everybody knew what was going on. We were my mom, my dad. My dad's backstory wasn't. They were trying to, how do you say that was my dad that did it when it was like I was the thing, and they brought his life back. And like it's, I don't know.
And it's not just, it's bad enough if you're accused of something you didn't do and it's a minor crime, a burglary or something like that. They pretty much accused you
kidnapping
of at that point, and still probably maybe the most famous crime going on the planet right now.
Yeah. No, I want to know why.
Plus, people found the name and they went and found the picture that was put out was not him. It was of his father. But they were using his name and his father's record. And so, and I'm not going to put out what his father's record was, but it's not cool. And so there's that there's still people that didn't hear the correction. Because I didn't hear a correction on the news. I heard streamers correct it. But I didn't hear. So yeah, I don't blame him. That's got to be scary, and scary for his kids and his wife. And it's like, I feel like they both should be just as loud of announcements as, but I don't know. I just wonder what's next. Who are we gonna get another SWAT? Are we gonna get another SWAT raid?
When you mentioned that night that you weren't necessarily mad at the deputies, that they're doing their job. They were, you want them to find whoever did this, but obviously they had the wrong guy here, right? Does that still how you feel?
Yeah, I'm frustrated that they didn't do a good job at it. They just went with supposedly a tip they had, but they could have done things differently. They could have walked to me and asked, like, hey, where were you there? Where were you? But they didn't. They did force they used force, and I felt like I was being kidnapped.
And again, I mean, we talked about it that night, but I mean, this case has gotten a lot of attention, and that's why it went so kind of famous on the internet. But
they also broke his house. They broke his front door. I think he said his back door, the garage door. I mean, they did some damage. And I don't know how old this brother-in-law is. I guess I just assumed he was a teenager. If he was in a back bedroom playing video games, but maybe not. I mean, you know.
Up to that point, you hadn't heard anything about this case?
Nah.
Didn't know who Nancy Guthrie was?
Nah, all I do is work and be with my kids and my wife. I don't follow the news. It's something for me that I don't like.
So never something you wanted to be thrown in the middle of here?
No, and I'm here.
What's it been like? I mean, I know you've had conversations with your kids and your wife and the rest of your family just in the last week. What have you guys talked about?
Well, they're mostly worried about me, like what's gonna happen to me, because like my lawyer said, they haven't apologized publicly, or they haven't said I'm not a person of interest or anything. They just left it like that. So we're still worried. My in-laws are still worried too, like what's gonna happen. And my brother-in-law too said my oldest son doesn't even want to go to school. But we're still trying to get through this.
It's gonna be tough too for your kids. I mean, just going to school. I mean, it's up into their life too. It's not just yours.
Exactly.
Has there been any conversation and I don't know if it's for you, Jesse, or not, but has the sheriff's department reached out at all privately? I mean, we haven't heard really much publicly, but has there been any contact since then?
No. So we've notified the Pima County Sheriff's Office and the Pima County Attorney that we represent Carlos, but they've taken no steps to contact us to clear the air. We requested the return of his property. The only thing that was seized during the search was Carlos's phone, which has his driver's license as part of the case, and they still haven't returned that, or as part of the phone case. They still haven't returned that. We think we're in the process of making arrangements to have that returned as of Friday, but it's very hard. You know, when we've reached out to them, it seems like it's very disorganized. It's very hard to figure out who's in charge over.
So someone else, but that's the thing too. I mean, this guy, his wallet, if he's a DoorDash driver, he needs his wallet and his phone. That's how they make their money. And see, again, we have unorganized. You don't know who's in charge. That's something that's been echoed from several different places.
There. And, you know, my number one concern right now is that in all of this rush to judgment that's happened, that they just don't want to take accountability and admit that they did wrong.
You know, and I know you don't follow the news, but they had another person detained. It looks like they towed another car. I know they didn't tow your car, but they towed another car on Friday night. And this may be for both of you, but when you watch that and they already did it once to you, and it looks like it's happening again to somebody else, I mean, what does that make you think? What goes through your head when you see that?
I think they're just guessing. They're just a guessing game to them.
Well, see, that's what I think too. And part of me wonders, and then I was thinking about it and I heard someone else say it too. When we see those two pictures where there's, you know, first the guy with the backpack, but then the other one, the mask is kind of obscured and there's no backpack, or it looks like there's no backpack. How do we know that's the same night? Could they have been kind of casing the place and figuring out stuff? I mean, it seems like a dumb move, but it's like they did some things so right and then they just did other things so wrong. But unfortunately, the things so far that we publicly know that they've done wrong aren't enough to find out who it is. or where she is. And I don't know, this whole thing is just so it's just that here we are, what, day 17, right? Or day 18. We are day 18. Yikes, that's... So, yeah. And... Oh, thank you, Debbie. You see, I don't watch a lot of updates either. So I just kind of skim through all this stuff, and this is how I update myself. I can't watch a full day of it. It's too much, you know. And well, and also I've got a little kid, and so most of the time in the afternoon or during the day when all this stuff is going on, I'm chasing him around. So I usually have my earbuds in and I listen here and there, and I try to do like a Cliff's Notes for everybody like me at the end of the day. And that's what it's getting to be. It's like, you know, who sent TMZ a letter today? What's the sheriff going to say back? You know, what backward speech are we gonna have? And well, and they don't. It's the same stuff all the time. And I think that's why, one of the reasons why some of these reporters are getting so salty. Well, not some. Honestly, the only reporter that I have seen that hasn't been cool with any of the streamers was that one guy that did the junk piece on JLR. And let me play the rest of this. So I think that's just about views because nobody knows who he is. So
I don't know. They're just playing with people's lives at this point. If they don't have no evidence against anybody, how are they going to keep on doing this stuff to innocent people?
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, but it kind of worries you as a person, right? If doing this to just kind of willy-nilly into anybody, who's next?
It should be a big deal to people, no matter what their political stripe, that the government has this power to come in, cast a cloud of suspicion on somebody, destroy lives, and then retreat and act like it never happened, and give statements like, well, everybody's been cleared to a point. That's not enough. It's meaningless. They don't have evidence. They made a mistake, and they need to come forward and admit it.
Will your life ever be the same?
I don't know. At this point, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be the same. Like he said, they cast a cloud on me, like big time news and everything. I don't know if it's going to be the same.
Alfonso, anything on your mind? Anything else I should have asked you, or anything else you want to make sure we hit on before? I always hate making you drive all this way and then we talk for 10 minutes and I send you on your way, but I think that was perfect and you said it very well. So yeah,
I'm good as long as.
I think Carlos just wants to be done with this.
I can imagine. I didn't realize too that they still haven't gotten the phone back.
No. Yeah. No word from the police. No, nothing. They, like you said, they haven't reached out to me or to him to apologize. Nothing.
Well, I'm sorry you guys are all having to go through this, and I hope it all calms down soon here.
I just hope they get the person and be done. Right now, I'm everywhere right now. Like, I don't know what to do. I can't hide.
Yeah.
What they did after they did what they did to me, I don't plan on staying quiet. It's not right. Like he said, it's the federal, the FBI. How could they be so inaccurate with their evidence and all that. Like, I don't know, it was wrong the way they acted.
Wow.
But
it's hard to believe they
I
kept
thought
you there
his
all
was
that
the
time.
sheriff's
Well, they had me in the
department.
Miranda car first.
Yeah, okay.
That was like until
I thought it was Pima County. Yeah, exactly. And then the weather's not even right. At least here, my weather's never right.
oh, 4, 5, 6 until like 8 at night. That's when the Pima County Sheriff replaced the Miranda.
So they stopped you at what, 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
And then it was 12:30 or 12 that we went
Almost
outside?
1 in the morning.
Almost 1 in the morning.
Mm.
Did it feel like that long when you're sitting there?
That felt longer.
Really?
Yeah, and then being handcuffed with your hands behind your back when supposedly you're just detained. And my shoulders were hurting, and I don't know. It was a bad experience.
Yeah.
I'm glad it ended.
So that's the update on Carlos. So he's got a lawyer, and that's kind of what I wonder too. Oh, sorry about that. That was AI and yuck. I kind of wonder about that too, though, is that with the reality show, I mean, we haven't seen any like we haven't seen any cameras following them around, but and I don't mean like valid evidence, but I would just wonder if part of this, now that we find out about this show, is it like damage control? You know, those reality shows, as some of them, as trashy as they are, they've got rules about, who's on them, things like that. So if it's found that they're not, that the sheriff's maybe behaving in a way that's not possibly completely politically correct, or deemed as something that might bring like bad press, whatever, to the channel. I mean, this is a big channel like A&E. They could pull a show like that. I mean, look at how many times big name stars have gotten in trouble for something, and all of a sudden, whatever show they're on, whatever, is gone, canceled. Sorry, I got into the gem zone, and when I do that, I zone out and I can't speak. It's like trying to put on eyeliner. Let me see. What does this say? Let's see. Well, so that's interesting. This says, thoughts. I went back and was watching the video footage of the front door. Does it look like the suspect was about to knock on the door right before he noticed the Nest camera? Early on, it was reported that the back door was open when the family arrived. Let's see. I still wonder So let's say he was getting ready to knock on the door. Notice the Nest camera covered it up, but still was trying to raise her, like to get her to answer the door. Maybe she thought it was someone she knew. Because who would come to your door out in the middle of the boonies in the middle of the night, right? And we've read in different reports about her having like a blood pressure spike at about 2 a.m. So could that have been when she opened the door and realized? I mean, maybe it took her that long to get up, get out of bed, go walk into the door. Is it far-fetched? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. I mean, that is weird. But again, we don't know if this is... You have to be so careful because anybody can make anything on the internet anymore. I mean, look at that poor giraffe.
To this case, senior correspondent Brian Enton is live for us in Tucson. So, Brian, breaking news here, but you just spoke with Sheriff Nanos last night. He said then that they don't have evidence to suggest Nancy was taken to Mexico.
Yeah, and I don't think there is any evidence to say that Nancy is in Mexico, but at the same time, this is what's new and interesting. There is a federal law enforcement source who confirmed to our Libby Dean that the FBI has now been in contact with Mexican authorities in connection with the Nancy Guthrie case. So
maybe he gets up every day and he shakes a magic 8-ball, and that's how he figures out what he's going to say.
Obviously, they are keeping that possibility open. And remember, the border is very, very close to where I am right now at Nancy Guthrie's house. It's just about an hour to an hour and a half from here. It's close to where we saw that SWAT raid the other night in connection with the case. So now officially, the FBI is in contact with Mexican officials. I've been talking to sources here on the ground for the last couple of weeks who all have said the same thing, that this does not appear at all to be cartel related. It shows no signs of cartel involvement, frankly, just because the cartel is very organized in what they do.
Well, that's the hard thing to understand is, you know, every 5 minutes, Harvey's changing from TMZ is changing the way he speaks. Same with the sheriff. So we don't know. How organized is it?
And precise, and they wouldn't go in and kidnap an older woman this way. And then what we saw in the video in terms of, you know, putting grass in front of the camera, they're just, you know, better at it than that. They would have pulled the camera right away. So there's no signs that it's cartel related, but that doesn't mean that whoever did this did not take Nancy to Mexico. It's two separate issues there, which could be the reason now we're finding out that the FBI has been in contact with Mexican authorities, Nicole.
And Brian, really quickly, back to your one-on-one interview with the sheriff last night. He does tell you he is confident that this case will be solved.
Oh, well, that makes me feel better. Thanks, Sheriff. That's... Yeah, okay. Let's see, Nerdy Addict. Where did he put it up? Oh, gosh. Nancy Guthrie Google searches before she went missing. So could it have been someone looking up her worth? Because hopefully we see Mo later tonight, because I did find where I found that information. You can find all of it, but there's two sources. There's Wikipedia And there's also this other website that I used that I found all of her info on. But the Wikipedia has, I was reading on it last night, and it's changed. It now said that there is a claim on there, like a request for it to be deleted. Her Wikipedia that's got all of her has all of her family history, the history about her husband, how her husband died, which according to the Wikipedia was from a mining accident. So in the late 80s. But here we go. I just have to clean these up and box them, and that one is done. But yeah, I don't know, a lot of people are saying they're getting sick and tired of this. They're getting tired of listening to it, tired of hearing it. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing the updates too. I'm not just I'm trying not just to stream one long stream staring at a driveway all day. I mean, and that's cool if you want to watch that. I'm not like saying anything. Just I found I can get, if I go through stuff after dinner. This has been my schedule. I've been we do dinner. I let the boys have their, little one play, the older one, sit in his room and think about how annoying all of us are. It's a teenager. And then bath in bed for little guy, and homework shower in bed for my big guy, which he takes care of himself, but I still have to be present, in the present in the home. But and then I go on and do our Cliff Notes updates of everything. We get in some good discussions in the evenings. Excuse me. Sorry, with this warm up, my allergies are all over the place. Oh, sorry, I was on a different page. I didn't see what you said, Erica. I can tell you if this knocked on my door at 2 a.m, my blood pressure would spike. Oh, me too. And imagine looking at, oh my gosh, can you imagine if she looked out and saw those eyes? Because that night vision makes it even scarier. They look like those horrible hollow eyes, and it literally just makes my stomach churn to think about it. Okay, everybody's clean and tidy. But I can't imagine I still just don't get it. I still don't get who in the world would do this to a sweet little grandma, But sadly it is, though, and eventually everybody will have to go home, and there will be other cases where the evidence is leading them to a solution quicker, and those cases are going to get they're going to get all the energy, and that's that's the sad part. You know, it happens. I mean, look at the YouTube true crime community as far as the missing children. We've had a couple of really big ones in the past 5 years. I'd say 5 years. And except for a few, you know, a handful of people, they're easily forgotten about because everything's so hot and heavy at the beginning because there's evidence and there's drama and there's, you know, Nancy from Canada. Oh, I know. And that's just it. You know, we were talking about that the other day. We talk about it every day, is that we all have, you know, a mom, a grandma. A lot of us have elderly family members that are living by themselves, that are, and that's the thing is, it really, horrible things can happen to anybody, but it's just so sad. And I feel really, really bad for, I was saying this yesterday, I feel really bad for her grandchildren. She's got, you know, well, and I read, and again, I'm reading too much stuff and not writing down where I'm reading it at so I can refer back to it. But it said something about Annie and her children. So there must be grandchildren on that side too. That now, you know, my grandmother's house always was a place of comfort and food and laughter, and I got really lucky. And that they don't have that anymore. And I wouldn't think that even if they, let's say they find her, that home that was the home that everybody grew up in, that, you know, it's never going to be the same. It's never going to feel safe again, you know? And well, and that's just it. My mom, I already did I? Can't tell if I already did them or not. My mom lived alone, but she lived right next to me. And so I could be there at a moment's notice. And it's just too bad that there wasn't some kind of, I think that's the hard part, and that's what's hard for a lot of us to get over, is why wasn't there some kind of security? Why wasn't there like Life Alert, and they have other companies that aren't, you know, super expensive, whatever. I guess it's so outrageous for something like this to happen. But at the same time, it seems like it's so preventable, and it definitely had gotten a lot of, it's gotten that talk going as far as people who are starting to get to that point in life with their own family, with their own mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles, that, you know, you have to kind of start watching, and you have to kind of, that relationship dynamic changes, and you have to start protecting them. They're no longer your protectors. And what's that saying? And I remember thinking about it when my mom passed away, that Have you ever been in the middle of a really bad situation and you look around the room looking for the adult, and all of a sudden you realize you're the adult? Like, oh man, you know, I mean, it's so maybe some good things can come out of the discussions that are popping up because of this, as far as taking care of our elderly and making sure that we're things that we never thought of. Because who would have ever thought something like this would have happened to us, an 84-year-old woman? I mean, you just don't think about that stuff. That this is stuff that happens in movies, and this is Gerard Butler is supposed to pop out in a few minutes, jump out of an airplane into a helicopter and go find her, right? That's how it works. That's how it ends. And the longer and the longer and the longer this drags out, there could be a day when we do. So that's been the big question today in chat is, when do we stop? When do we end? Because Megyn Kelly said it the other day when she was really mad at that reporter that had gone on and was talking about podcasters and influencers, and she really got mad because one of the things that she said is they're kind of the last cowboys, you know, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting, that the news is going to get on to the next best thing that's going to sell papers, it's going to sell clicks, it's going to sell views, it's going to sell subscriptions on cable networks. That's what they're going to do. And these podcasters, and see, I don't think of people like JLR as influencers, because he doesn't really influence me to do anything. But more of like a boots on the ground armchair detective, you know? I mean, and I don't say that with any kind of like shade towards him or anything. You know, I've said a million times, I am not affiliated with him. I don't know him, never talked to him. We were just lucky that he said, you know, at the beginning of this case, share out my stream, share it, play it, watch it, discuss it, get everybody you can knowing about it. Well, and that's it. Exactly. Like my mom, there was a lot of things that she could have afforded, but she wouldn't do it because, you know, old ladies, you know, and no offense. I'm an old lady myself. I'm a middle-aged old lady. But then, you know, you pay for it for her. So you know what? Merry Christmas. I paid for a year of this for you, or 5 years or whatever. So then that's how I had to learn how to do it with my mom. I had to trick her. I had to trick her into, why can't I get rid of my circle? I got to figure this circle thing out. But I had to trick her into stuff like that. And that's just what you have to do. Sometimes you have to find ways for them to save face, and you to be able to know that they're taken care of, that somebody's watching out for them. We keep hearing that Annie was her caretaker, and that's great, but what happened, you know? That's something that I wonder. With all the family far away, living these busy lives and whatnot. And I'm not saying that she has anything to do with this, but again, and it's real easy to Monday morning quarterback. I get that too. And there's probably a lot of situations that we have no idea about. But was she doing everything that she was supposed to? Was she being too lax about things like this, about security cameras, and or was it one of those things that they just took for granted, that they lived in a neighborhood that was really safe, that was, I literally live in one of the safest cities, communities, at least in my state, I know that. But I'm the type of person that I don't trust anybody. So we had things, in place. Checks, things that we did to check on my mom, to make sure that, she didn't leave her keys in the door, that she remembered to take her purse out of the car, that she locked the door at night. Just little things like that. And we were, right before she passed away, actually, we were talking about things like Life Alert, like something like that, so that if I was here sleeping and something happened in the middle of the night, because I think out there you could have been right next door and not had any idea that something was going on, unless you were literally standing out in the road. But okay. But I don't know. I hope that we get answers, but we were actually talking about that the other night too. Just because, like I said, I'm in a super safe community, but my fiance is a truck driver, so he's sometimes gone, sometimes it's just me and the boys. And so while I am safe, I live in a very small town, so every cop in town knows my schedule. Just a second. Turn my volume down. It's just a good thing to have, because we get little stuff like kids breaking into cars or stealing bicycles, stuff like that out of the garage, but nothing too serious. But still, you just never know. And in fact, our neighbor has quite a few of our neighbors have like ring service, something like that. And a couple of years ago, we had this huge storm that came through, and it literally blew my neighbor's shed down the road. And on my hands, yeah, these are my hands. Because so that I can have this set up so you can see my nails, because this is my day job, is nails. I have to have this camera mount, but it covers my camera on my computer. So I figured this way I can still talk to you, I can do my work, you guys can see my work, because that's on the ticker scrolling down at the bottom is my website address. But like I said, I don't ever push it. I will introduce stuff to you about it from time to time, but my channel is not an infomercial. It's there if you are interested. If not, I will not treat you any differently. I am not like that. So I'm just as happy with people coming in, talking true crime and learning how to do stuff. Let me teach them how to do stuff as I am just working the nails. Thank you very much. These were New Year's nails. We were trying out gotten these. Now this isn't gel polish, but it's, sorry, I have to keep clicking. My virus protection program keeps popping up. It's these little, do that so I don't drip it on my keyboard, little striping brushes. So we were trying that out. We had like a night where everybody's giving me ideas, and so I did what the chat wanted me to do. Well, somewhat, because some of the stuff is a little crazy, but I like making crazy nails, but I keep my own nails pretty chill. So I used to, back in the day, I used to have some like wicked long airbrushed, like Jersey Shore, and I'm from Michigan, but Jersey Shore gym tan nails. I had the tan, I had the nails, I had the long black hair. That was a very long time ago, though, so very long time. I've still got the hair, but everything else has gone to the birds, so. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing, though, if there is, well, I don't understand. This is one of the things that's bugging me, too, and we'll probably end up talking about this later tonight when I come back. But why is the sheriff only doing these one-on-one interviews? Like, that seems pretty sketchy to me, too. And I had a comment on one of my videos from the other day, and it was saying very similar. You know, why doesn't he just have, if we could have another, if you say you're working together and you say everything's fine and you say these people are cleared and you say this, you say that, then let them do another press conference. Then one official press conference instead of all of these little backroom interviews, and it would, I think, quash the public. Even if you don't really say anything, but if you literally say, we have leads we're following, we cannot tell you what's going on. And I understand, too, that no one's cleared. If it's a kidnapping case and they haven't found her, I don't think any of us expected anyone to be cleared until we saw either them saying that they found her or the news saying that she was dropped off somewhere. And I mean, most of us, majority of us have common sense like that, you know, and I don't know. I have heard that he's very political. He's very about, you know, his impression as far as that goes. And is that what this is about? Is this about, I mean, we really don't know what the family has said, what they don't. I mean, like we said, that we were talking about it last night. Him all of a sudden saying that the family is cleared, and then Megan's FBI source saying nobody's cleared. And that doesn't mean that they did it. It just means nobody's cleared. We don't have anybody yet. Part of me wonders, did he get a call? He could have called and say, clean this up, please. You know? And, well, and that's it too. It takes time, and like this new, he was talking about the familial DNA. That can take weeks. So, you know, I think this is getting, media-wise, this is going to start winding down, which is probably a good thing. I think a lot of us will get a lot more done when that happens, but I don't know. I was just so sure that they would have had this by now. This doesn't seem And all the secretiveness with this person that supposedly knows where she's at and who she's with. Like, I mean, this is the FBI. And they can do stuff that we've never even probably heard of. And they can't figure out a way to figure out who this person is that's sending TMZ. But that's just it. If they move on, part of me wonders, because that's something that Megyn Kelly was saying, is if they move on, then this story gets quiet and people forget. And will people still be looking and still be giving tips and things like that? So I see it from that perspective too. But, you know, that's what's hard about this too. Usually I have such a start. Yes, that was said earlier. So that's what I wonder too, as part of this, you know, saving face for that. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I did. I heard that today, earlier, that they had a reality show out, and Driver's into all those police shows. They have one on Discovery Channel about Grand Rapids, Michigan, too. So, you know, we had to watch that. And then I think it was Flint was on an episode of Cops. I mean, surprise, right? I know, right? Big surprise. I believe it was there. It was I can't remember if it was on Cops that they showed it or if it was on that State Boys channel. But there was an officer involved shooting. And he lived not too far from me. The officer did. And people were sending him flowers. This is another example of, you know, people having good intentions, but people started sending him flowers and putting stuff out in his front lawn while he was recovering, but not thinking that you're literally calling attention to where this officer lives. You know, we don't want to do that because, again, you just never know. You never know who's out there. You never know who's watching. This is perfect. Sorry, this stuff is a booger to get off. It's like double stick jelly tape. Oh, yeah, I bet. Well, and that's it. I do think they're trying. I just think that they just... Yes, yeah, Cameron is, he was the one, the gentleman that was in the family plea videos. That was the brother. Yep. I haven't seen. Did I tell Driver about, I can't remember if I told Driver about it or not. Well, that's what I hope this doesn't have to be an open case or even the thought, but a cold case. Because that was kind of my realm before. That was my interest in true crime, was going over cold cases and unsolved, just like unsolved mysteries. And then this came up, and so maybe I hope I'm not gonna have to put it on a cold case series. I'm one of my cold case series. I mean, that's But like I said, what do you do? What do you do when you've just got, like I said, they're going through leads. I mean, and they have to have thousands. I mean, look at, I had 3 people. Yeah. Yep. I did. Oops. I did see that the other day. Oh, where's this one go? Oh, duh. Totally lost myself on that one. Like, where am I going? Where am I going? But it gets to be where, you know, there's going to be other missing people. There's going to be other crimes, you know, with these raids. That's part of, like I said the other night, I wonder, could some of these, and could there be raids going on that we don't even know about, that are in other counties because they got a tip of something else, that, so while everybody's over here, you know, they're doing stuff in the next county over, or in El Paso or something like that. Or, I mean, because wasn't it, I don't think it was related, but wasn't like El Paso's airspace grounded for like a week or something like that? And it happened to be coincidentally like the first or second week that Nancy had gone missing. But if they don't find her soon, that's exactly what. Well, and see, that's another thing. It is bringing light to some bad behavior on the sheriff. Like I said, those deputies out there, from everything I've seen, they've been waving to reporters, saying hello. You know, they see the same faces every morning. And I think they're out there working their tails off. And I think the FBI agents are out there working their tails off. And, you know, everybody's got a boss, and not a lot of us like them. I'm my own boss, and me and my boss get in fights all the time. So, I mean, but it has brought eyes to some of the things that, and I think it was on that first press conference that the sheriff did when he started talking about, here's our little finished product, little chromie. Those will be up on the website soon. Full set. It is, what did we do? 14-piece set. But anyway, I don't know. Where did I put the top to it? I just hope that they've got more than they say they do. You know, and I know they're always going to have, there's stuff that they have to keep close and quiet. They have to. Because like I said, and I say it all the time, if we know, then the bad guys know. Let me see. Let me take a stroll through X real quick just to see. Let's refresh. We don't need to hear from you again, Harvey. We're over you. So what? Okay, Icked Mail just said something about if Nancy Guthrie's family was cleared, then who's getting polygraphed at the police station? Okay, let's see. Has anyone heard about that? That's a guy that there's a guy that keeps going around. Let's see. Let's see if he has anything to say. Exactly. So that's it. So now, did they not? Maybe Mel just asked about the polygraph. So did they not polygraph the family? And now because the sheriff has said this, they're like, all right, now let's do this so that we can prove it or whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's so weird. And it just... I think this would have been a better thing than if they just... I'll say if they hadn't said anything at all, it would have been better. It still bugs me, though, that with all this stuff that's gotten leaked out, nothing about the inside of the crime scene. Why don't you go ask her yourself when you're brushing her hair tonight before the two of you get in bed? Well, that's just it. It is. And
You guys following me?
Yeah, we're seeing what you're up to.
oh,
So what signs are you looking for? Like, what do you exactly?
Anything, broken branches, footprints, anything.
what is one of the public searchers?
Oh, okay, yeah, gum. Be safe.
Yeah. But I'm not. I don't know. It can well bump his head. I don't see anything about that.
He just went on to this neighbor's property. Right down there. There he is. He's going to knock on their door. What's going on here?
This is that. It's that neighbor that
He's taking matters in his own hands.
they think is the
Right.
drum dealer.
You know, other people have said, why don't they allow volunteers to go out? This guy, talking about
This guy, he's going door to door. He said he got permission by the next door neighbors.
Yeah.
Right? He was all, look, they answered the door.
At least he's asking permission. He's not just walking on somebody's property to look, but I truly think that most
So they didn't
people
even
that are-
open the door on him. Somebody said, "Can I help you?" And he's talking through the door, and he's like, "I'm just a person that wants to search on the
Well, 'cause I
ground.
wouldn't
Can I
have
search your
already
property?"
know you.
That's what he's asking.
With all those people out on the road.
Not without a warrant.
I mean, they didn't answer their door. I wouldn't answer my door. Oh yeah, now her head's peeked out.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to answer my door with somebody I didn't know. I mean, granted, what he's doing is with good intention.
Well, we'll ask him what she tells him. She might say they already searched here, and then we got information.
We gotta give credit. Comes up here from San Diego.
That's where he came up from, San Diego.
Found missing women.
Sir, what did she say?
She said she's had quite a few people already search her property and everything, and it's not accessible to get back there, but she was very nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're just going door to door now, or you're done?
I'll be back
He's gonna come back.
How long do you plan to stay in the area?
as long as it takes.
So you're going to be here looking for Nancy for.
Yeah, I'll go to the sheriff department right now, tell them who I am, and tell them I'm out here searching because I don't want them to come up and throw me on the ground and arrest me.
Right.
Yeah. Be safe out there. Be safe out there.
So if they ask you, you will take part in it. If they say,
Oh, most definitely.
if they give you the go ahead, you'll be tapped to
Oh,
lead
yeah.
the foot search.
I'll be with the other volunteers.
What's your name for the viewers? The viewers want to know.
Just the first name.
Or who do you want to call yourself?
Yeah.
Francis.
Francis from California.
Actually, I live here now.
Oh,
Okay, Francis.
Yeah.
but
All right.
experience
Thank
in
you,
San
Francis.
Diego.
Right.
Experience in San Diego.
And, never mind. But can I get out this way back?
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to get out. Yeah, you can go up there and then you make a left. It'll take you to the school and the thing. You just go right up to the road to the stop sign, make a left. It'll take you to Orange Grove,
Okay.
and that'll take you out.
Good luck with the sheriff, Francis.
Thank you, Francis.
Oh, he's gonna go ask the sheriff. Well, that's good too. I mean, that's
Francis. He's gun ho, trying to find.
I think a lot of people are just, and that's why so many people are interested in it too. Just feel helpless.
I mean, that's what I feel like something's going to eventually happen. Citizens are going to start taking things in their own hands.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, well, why he's trying. I'm not. I don't think it's funny at all. He's trying. He's just a random volunteer that wants to search. He's going door to door, asking to search. I think it's great, personally. Because I bet you the citizens are going to find Nancy some way, somehow.
That was something else I did hear this morning. Was something about that they did in one of the interviews, and I'll try and find it for later tonight, of Sheriff Nanos, because he interviewed with, like, I think they said he gave like 10 reporters like 10 minutes of his time each. And I don't remember if it was with Brian Enton or who it was, but he stated that in that first evening, which it's probably Sunday night, that they did use Border Patrol canine search. So I don't know, that's just odd. I mean, unless if they took off in a car and it's cold out, so there's not the windows open, things like that in the car, it's cold out at night, possibly she got taken off. I mean, she obviously got taken somewhere, and I doubt they were walking with her, carrying her like a cradle all the way down the road, I mean, it just... This is the sheriff's office. So maybe... Let's back up. See what he says.
Be you. I bet it's Luke, Bro-in-law, and Annie. They've been cleared.
Change the scenery. We've been sitting there
Yeah.
for what? How many days?
Well, this is what we want to do. We want to hunt down the stories. Somebody said, I bet it's Luke. I bet it's Luke. It came from comment True Be You. I bet it's Luke, Bro-in-law, and Annie. But they've been cleared. Bro-in-law and Annie.
To a point. The sheriff said. To a point.
Somebody said Savannah's husband. Savannah's husband came into town yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Right? TMZ got him at the airport. Yeah, I'm going to Benson Highway. That's Sheriff's Office, Pima County, at Benson Highway.
Oh, of the wrist tattoo on the.
Let's see where this goes. We have about 6 more hours of daylight.
I haven't
Or I'm
seen
sorry,
that.
3 more hours.
I haven't seen. I did see that Luke. I couldn't see what it was, but it did look like he had something going down in that right arm. Yep. Yep, I did see that.
We're in Tucson.
I can't remember what picture it was of him, but he was like reaching for something, and it was like, oh.
Yeah, so when we get there,
yeah, it has that all that under stuff, right?
I just got one. Sure.
You don't think so? Why?
Well, I mean, they just said this thing, and they just said there's no currently no press conference is scheduled if significant developments occur. So, I mean, we'll go see it, get a little drive. I mean, hopefully, the SWAT might be coming back from that related incident.
Did Annie's vehicle get released? That's a great question. Did Annie's vehicle get released?
A lot of times, don't they might hold on to it for the investigation.
I've heard a lot of people say that, Erica. Like, people just feel so helpless sitting there watching,
but it is valid if she wants it back. They can probably, if she's cleared.
Remember, law enforcement is under no obligation. They can lie to us and get away with it.
All right, she's gonna check.
We can't lie to them.
No,
but they can lie to us.
She just said she's gonna let me know if she is. She's from Telemundo.
Nice.
Shout out Telemundo.
Telemundo's on the way.
If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm doing a custom size set.
Meeting. She's interviewing the
for
sheriff.
client.
Oh, the sheriff. Yeah, taking one-on-one interviews. But no press conference.
No press conference. I told you to take this road.
Yeah.
What's cool about these custom sets is she's got a couple of fingers, like 3 fingers on one hand, that the nail beds are almost exactly the same. Even in running.
Got
14 or 16 piece sets. You don't get that many of one size for a set. So this is a way to save money. You get nails that fit your exact fingers.
Dun. Polygraphs. Who's getting a polygraph? Please put the tinfoil hat on your head and tell the truth, the whole truth, all these wires on you. All right. Where were you?
I wonder if the
January
family's getting
31st,
polygraphed so that
did you kidnap?
they can
Nancy
just
Guthrie?
say,
They
boom,
ask, like,
there,
really, like,
we
questions
passed,
like that.
leave us
Instead of,
alone,
did
you know?
do any harm to Nancy? Yes or no? These polygraphs are not really admissible in court. People want to do it just to clear their names. Some people, you know, they want you to do it, see if there's a guilty conscience. Polygraph.
And maybe the sheriff said,
Well, we don't. Well, we know what.
you need to help me save some face here because I said
Yeah,
this.
that brings it back to the 20, to the list of the 20 or 25 people. You know what I mean? If somebody's being
So anyone that leaves the sheriff's office, we go, excuse me, have you been polygraphed?
Yeah.
Excuse me, did they just polygraph you? Yeah, it could be some of those names. Could be some of those people. Who knows? It might be another sheriff's office too. They got a little, but I would assume it'd be like.
Well, I read in
because that's their command center, isn't it? Center on
Pickett-Mel's post that
this is Detective so and so with the Pima County Sheriff's Office.
I mean,
we
this
need
is
you to
the
come
big
back.
long thing they just released.
Yeah.
218.
that they do like 12 to
We need you
15
to
of
come
these a
down
week.
to
So
the
maybe they
sheriff's
are
office
just a.
to take a polygraph.
Maybe they have somebody that works there that is a like certified. So it might not even have anything to do with this. See if they see anything.
Polygraph. Who's getting polygraph? There's a sheriff deputy right there.
But yeah, as soon as I saw that picture with that tattoo, I was like, I did like one of those like sucked all the air in. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's what we saw. Because you know, again, just because they let him go doesn't mean that he isn't tied to this. It doesn't mean that he is either. It doesn't mean that he's not. It doesn't mean that they're not still looking and trying to make some connections, you know? Well, from what we know, well, not from what we know, from what we're told, either Tommaso and Annie or just Tommaso dropped Nancy off at her home and then we're assuming went back home. And the son, I don't know.
Who's getting polygraphed?
I think, was it Stone? I think Stone had looked up his info and he lives out of state. So he would have been out of state. Savannah was in New York. Savannah and her husband, her family were in New York when it happened. So the only people that were close were
Chris Nanos,
Tommaso and Annie. But according to the sheriff, they're clear. Was they sisters, brothers? Neighbor from the 3rd grade. I don't know. It was weird. It seemed like a lot more saving face, and I wonder if he got a call saying, "You better clean this up." from, from the bosses.
What do you think?
Or
Yeah.
from the family.
Can I set it up over there right in front of the door?
Maybe that's part of the problem too. Maybe
Why is everyone like parked back
because of the
here?
power that they have with Savannah are trying to run things.
Get back to look.
Sheriff. And they say they've been cooperative.
All the media is out here.
Okay.
Let's go check out the SWAT vehicle.
And he needs all those people for when it's time to vote again. I will say, his brother died like the day that this happened, or the day after this happened. So
this is when they say SWAT rolls out.
We're all human. I can't imagine having something like that happen. Deal with it in this.
SWAT. SWAT. Pretty impressive. Yeah, more interested in Nancy's driveway.
I did notice yesterday it looked like, and I mean, it could have just been somebody, it could have been Geeks Watch for all we know, but there was somebody over at that neighbor's house. They went in with like briefcases and stuff like that. And then they were out. Well, or I just thought of something. It looked like they were messing with the this person's camera. So maybe
someone's getting polygraphed.
Maybe they were servicing a camera that didn't work because these people said, forget this, we need our cameras working. Just a passing thought.
Who's getting polygraphed?
I tried to see your shirt. Looks like it's just a...
Did you expect to see anything down here or not?
No, but it's a good change of scenery. I mean, we've been there so at least we get to see what they're doing. They're waiting for something here.
They're waiting for something here, obviously.
How long we should ask them how long they can sit up here.
Go ahead, go snoop around. Sleuth
I wonder
around.
how long JLR is going to stay out there. I know he said he got, like, the last time I heard him say anything about it, he said he had, I thought, into next week, but maybe it was just the weekend. I'm not positive.
Who's doing the polygraph here?
That is something, though, being like one of these armchair detectives, if this case does start to get cold, and then it felt like people aren't taking it seriously or aren't looking or doing, then unlike mainstream media that's kind of controlled by whoever owns their station, these guys can go back up and try and stir up public notice again. I mean, that's...
I'm going to pull my vehicle up here.
Instead, it just all seems like a bad movie. I'm sure it feels even worse for her family. And that's just it. She had more people that loved her than just, Savannah and Annie and Cameron and their families. what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these base coated. And then I have got to make some dinner.
All right, so there's a lot of media here.
Over there, they have the sign media parking.
You need to call Pima County and tell them they need to start scheduling this stuff at different times. Need to quit going in the middle of dinner time. Need to quit doing it in the middle of bath time.
Yeah, share that information. What did you learn here?
Somebody searched Nancy Guthrie's address the night before, unconfirmed information on Google, and they're trying to research who did that.
Really? Oh. Somebody. Let's just
What?
go down here. They got like a media area, folks. Like over here, they got signs, media. So I want to make sure I stay on this.
Half the world is
You can.
searching
Yeah, why not?
Nancy Guthrie.
This is like the media staging area here. There's a sign that says media over here. So I just want to stay with everybody over here. Oh, yeah, yep. Good. Thank you.
I mean, so
Is this like a signed area? They don't want people with cameras?
No.
You can go cameras.
Yeah, this is a media parking.
Parking, but you can take the camera up there.
Yeah, you can go.
You guys do it?
Huh?
Have you guys?
that sounds weird. They had to have something more than just somebody was Googling her information last night, because literally when we were talking, there was a bunch of people in my chat talking about Googling to look and see, like, if she was connected to certain people, if she, where she lived. How do you think all those reporters got her address? I mean, I don't think they're going to pull you in for a polygraph test because of your Google search history. Now, if you were somebody,
Come down for a polygraph.
that was already a person of interest because of something else,
Carlos was asked to take a polygraph.
and then they find out you were also searching her, okay, I get that, but and I'm the mother of a teenage boy, so I'm pretty sure that the
Sheriff came out with a
sheriff
box
will
in his hand.
come after you because you Googled something, okay? Hey. Like if it was that guy that they did the raid on the other night, the one that they pulled over at the Culvers. Was it him searching? Or does he have nothing to do about it? And it was him searching. He's trying to figure out who this lady is and why he was connected to it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not an expert, as I've said a million times. But that just seems... just seems weird to me.
Holly. What have you learned? Anything?
I learned they don't let the public use the restroom at the sheriff's department.
Well, duh.
But not as far as anything into.
The potty at McDonald's, then get there.
2 weeks. I have like 2 weeks. Look, sheriff. Motor unit, DUI unit.
Those are the guys that carry the breathalyzers. All the fun stuff. Well, not fun if it's them that's behind you, but... But I told you guys when I went and looked on... I was looking that stuff up,
Come through here.
looking up where I found the information that I did promote last night.
Somebody said they could have left out the back.
When I went on Wikipedia, it said, and I'll show that later tonight, that was had been being requested to be deleted. So I mean, I don't know. There's some people saying that they can't just take public information off the internet of people, but Arizona is really, really weird about public information. And I say this from knowledge because one of my other friends covered a case out of Yuma. And when they were trying to get information about it, most everything
Who was that?
had to be FOIA'd. And you had to live in like this, you had to live there, and it was just.
Oh, I thought they were walking with somebody. Thank you, Pima County Sheriff's Department, your deputies working around the clock to find Nancy. We thank you. thank each and every deputy and pray for every officer, deputy, law enforcement, detectives, sergeants, everyone. Pray for Sheriff Nanos.
Right here, I got it. Bringing into your report 25 minutes ago.
So have, is that past tense?
Have.
So it means past tense.
They have been performed to clear people. So they've already been done. It's 5 o'clock, so you figure they get everything done before 5.
Why is the media still out here?
They've been out here the whole time.
So they just sit out here all day, every day.
Instead
For what?
of being over there, they're going to be, because they probably have one here.
So if SWAT goes out, they sit out
Yeah, they
there.
got one here, one there.
These guys.
That's what I think is so funny when they're getting on YouTubers. It's not
'cause, and also,
YouTubers.
so
It's
Justin over here.
the press intense at these places.
How many exits in the parking lot? Right here. I am a nurse, and I keep going back to the medication. How did Nancy receive her medication? Did she get a 90-day supply or a 30-day supply? She got it every 90 days. When did she have it filled, and how much was left? That's a great question coming from Tina Moy, 3169. Says she's a nurse. How did Nancy receive her medication? Did she get a 90-day supply or a 30-day supply? If she got it every 30 days, when did she have it filled last? And how much does she have left? Because we've heard from this case that it's crucial that she gets her medication. 90-day supply.
Well, like I know, my mom had a little pill thing.
But a lot of people put in the chat the Mexico theory because Mexico, you get all types of medications there. Huh?
Yeah.
Would it make sense?
Well, if they were wanting to keep her
alive? Well, some people said in the chat if she was to go to Mexico, which we don't know, but it looks like they're looking into it a little bit.
It seems like
She'd be more likely to be alive in Mexico than the United States at this point.
Yeah, because you could get her medications, not be traced and tracked. Keep your investment healthy.
Forensics. Look. Where's he going? Forensics on the move.
He might be taking the truck home for the night. Just a thought. Because I hadn't heard that it was offline. I heard that it was it had disconnected from the device, but that they were still using that blue. What's it called? Blue. What was that called? Shoot, I cannot for the life of me remember the technology they're talking about, but that blue software. Hey, Okie lady. The technology that could cut. Well, they didn't want everyone to know exactly what kind of signal or technology that it could detect, but it was the best bet. If she was close, it could send a signal and they could find it. And they were talking about, I think it was on Ashley Banfield this morning, was talking about instead of using the helicopters, we've had seen all these drones flying around. Put it on the drone so that it could fly lower and in some kind of different spots and areas.
All right, we'll stick around a little bit and see what's going on. Any action or not. Hi.
I don't know. That's what I was trying to figure out too. Unless it's just talking to press, because they're all there too, and they said that they've been doing it all day.
Who's this?
With people, like bringing people in and out. So,
Hey, okay,
yeah. Maybe they've got a list of subjects of people that were given tips or whatnot, and not the people that gave the tips, but and so the people that are saying, yeah, I'll go do it, they're clearing them out. Well, I'm wondering too, though, is that I read somewhere else that they do like 12 to 15 or 10 to 12 of these a day or a week. And so I'm wondering if they're just like maybe they have like a specialist like on the payroll that that's what they believe, because they said those batteries in there can last like up to 10 years. And that even if she is gone or she's deceased, it will still keep working. They have to use a special magnet to turn it off when someone has passed away. It doesn't just switch off. So it said, no matter what, this could be, if they get, like if it's narrowed down to where she could possibly be, then they could still use this technology. I thought they said like up to 10 years. Which is just, wow. I mean, you don't think about that, this technology.
Polygraph. That's the question in this building here. Cars keep coming by with tinted windows.
Five o'clock, everybody's going home. They probably already sent everybody. They're saying, they probably got done with all their testing and everything by now. And they might be like they had said earlier, sending everybody out the back because the parking lot's full of press. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they don't care. The one thing is, even if they're not finding anything right now, I live in such a cold, yucky state that sometimes just sitting there watching the camera while it's looking at the mountains or the breeze or the ground with no snow and ice on it kind of relaxes me, gets me through my work. Oh,
somebody's arriving.
You guys get to see while we're
Seeing if
doing
anybody
this,
comes out.
me making a huge mess of myself. I do too, or that she even maybe said, "Let me grab this" or something. If she knew what was going to happen. That's interesting, Okie lady. Yeah, see, I was doing searches and I couldn't find, maybe they're after me and they just don't know it. They're searching on Google. Yeah, I was looking yesterday and I couldn't find anything that connected with her other than, just that she was, that Luke guy's girlfriend. And that was because they got pulled over together in May. I think it was May, maybe. And then I do think it's odd that, but again, it could be completely it maybe started out related. And then when they didn't have anything else to do with it, they went back to watching him for all the trafficking stuff that they were already watching for. Maybe that was part of the raid, is because she was arrested on the 13th, which was that Thursday. It was a holiday weekend, so she had to probably spend the weekend in jail. And then they get raided the next night. Just makes you wonder if she said something. Oh, I think so too. Well, like we were saying earlier, there's that picture of him with the tattoo on his wrist, and it's like a long, skinny tattoo. And I know they keep saying this doesn't have anything to do with the cartel. No, but maybe somebody owes money to them, and this was their brilliant idea of how to get it, because they know these guys and they know how they do it, but they just don't quite have the brain power to be able to pull it off the way the cartel could. Like, that's just my thought on that. As well, Harvey keeps talking about how organized and like diabolical these guys are. I don't know. Are they? Are they really that?
Not here for a polygraph, are you? You here for a polygraph? You taking a polygraph? Oh, okay.
I'd rather get one. I had to be there for a bit.
There's some people here supposed to come for polygraphs, so I'm just asking.
Like, they're just kind of like wannabes, and maybe they're the low-level guys that are out peddling the stuff. And so they see these guys and they see what they do and they read about what they do, online.
Would you give a polygraph if they asked you for a polygraph? I wouldn't. I'd get a lawyer.
You know that guy, right? That just
They're not reliable, right? I'd get a lawyer.
Yeah, just a theory, because man, every time I think I have something that sounds good, everything changes,
No, you're good. Go ahead. There's shots everywhere. You're good.
That's what I figured.
You here for the Guthrie case?
No, totally different.
Totally different.
No, I'm kidding.
Are you? Who are you? Who are you? Are you a neighbor? Do you know her? Who are you? You look familiar. I seen you on TV.
Yes.
What's your name?
I'm Betsy Smith.
Hi, Betsy Smith, JLR.
I'm for the National Police Association.
National Police
Oh,
Association.
I know who you are.
Yeah, well, see,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
you got 33,000 people. You look like you were on TV. Like,
Yeah.
You're speaking on Fox News or what? What's going on?
I do Fox and Newsmax
Fox.
and News Nation. All that stuff. I do live here.
You do live here.
Mhm. Up north.
So just 30 seconds. Can you just what's your thoughts? What do you think happened here?
I was a cop for 29 years. I can't tell you.
Can't tell.
I mean, no. I mean,
You don't
it's
know.
not that I can't
You
tell
don't
I
know.
just don't know.
You don't know, huh?
Yeah.
Well, good luck with your interview.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Nice. So Nanos maybe doing more interviews.
Just giving an interview. Time to pack. Keep it cool. Keep it cute. Says time to pack up and head home. It's clearly becoming a cold case because authorities botched the investigation. Unless folks are going to volunteer and form search parties.
And it freaked me out. I mean, he's freaky. He's got those eyes that just kind of
pizza. Somebody else came by and said, "Did you order pizza?"
And guys won't get this, but women will. Like one of those guys that just his eyes look into your soul, and it's not a good way.
Who got the polygraph? Who's getting them?
And when I look at the cam footage,
who's getting the polygraphs?
It gave me goosebumps when I looked at the cam footage and his picture. I mean, maybe my brain just wants to see something, but I don't know. I'm usually really, really good with like faces and stuff like that and remembering things like that about people. So it just kind of hit me funny when I saw his real picture and then that night vision picture that they did with of the security footage, of the ring camera footage or nest camera or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But
we are live at the sheriff's office, Pima County Sheriff's Office. Reports are coming out that people have taken polygraph tests today.
Yeah, they do. It's that
Here.
eyeliner look, and
He is
got
out
that
here with
eyeliner
cameras faced at the building.
Some guys do
Is
wear
it done
makeup.
already?
I mean,
still some going on. Who came here for a polygraph and why? Why polygraphs now?
And I don't mean like guys that are trying to like
be the people with the 40
No.
weird names. Could be a family members.
I mean, like
people centered around the Guthries.
Some
Some of those people that they detained.
I used to have clients that would, male clients that would use.
The Fox says they're still
face
here,
powder
right?
On the top of their head and where their beards were and stuff.
As
like
if
that.
it's going
They do
on now.
5 o'clock shadow is bad.
It's conflicting whether it's past tense or it's going on now.
Exactly. Okay.
Polygraphs
That's
at this
fair. That makes you kind of
building
like
here,
gulp,
it appears.
The
sheriff's office.
I mean, and every time they've caught one of the people that have done one of these, like, the mass shooter situation.
Could have went through the
or
side.
The,
with
like,
a polygraph.
horrific crimes against society. They all have this, like, just see that look in their eye. It's scary. It's scary. On that note, I've got a jet for a little while.
Nanos getting the polygraph. MKS Watson says. Nanos is getting the polygraph. DJ Root, always good to see you.
We wish Nanos was getting the polygraph.
Check out the video that Hatfield McCullough just posted. It's about the restaurant where Savannah took her mom and sister. Interesting. I will check that out, BJ Root.
Let me do this for everybody really quickly. This, yeah, it's just, it is. It definitely does. What do they say? It's the window into your soul, your eyes. This is who we have been reviewing today and kind of watching, peeking in on. This is Jonathan Lee Riches. He has been out there, live boots on the ground, and he has invited everyone to stream, watch, review his stuff. He just wants this getting out there. So while I'm gone doing my superhero mom stuff, getting everybody dinner, baths, bed, all that stuff, watch him. He usually streams until the sun goes down. And so I will be on later on tonight, after I get all the kiddos to bed, go over anything else we missed today, review, and I'll finish this. So this is an order for a client. So I'll be finishing that while we discuss stuff. And so yeah, thank you everybody. Hit that thumbs up button for me if you can before you leave, and hit the subscribe and notification button if you want to hang out with us more and know when I'm live. And you're welcome to come on back. I want to thank new subscribers. I've gotten quite a few in the past couple week and a half, and I am grateful. So everybody that's come in has been awesome and had some awesome conversations. All theories welcome. No politics, no religion, because that's the quickest way to start a fight, right? But other than that, we talk about everything in here. So everybody have a great evening. And I will talk to you later. Peace, love, and Clawz, y'all. Here's for Nancy.